Welcome back to another GIM series video. I'm currently recording this intro many weeks after the previous video, and that's because at this point in time, Doom of Mokha came out about 2 weeks ago, just a little over 2 weeks, and we took a detour from our Slayer grind, despite being almost at the 1000 Slayer task streak that we were on, and the Wildy Voidwaker grind to tackle on the new content, the flavor of the month, that was the Doom of Mokha. I'm not quite sure when this video is going to be released, but I do know that this is going to be much later after the initial release of Mokha. If you guys are tuning into the channel for the first time and you're interested in Mokha content, I did upload a whole lot of Mokha related things between YouTube shorts and videos, long form, available that I uploaded around real time of the Doom of Mokha release. While I did upload a lot of content surrounding Mokha, I am now making this video as part of the GIM series in a more progression style video. It's a bit of a similar situation that we had going on around the time of the release of Yama and the Oath Plate armor, the Soul Horn Flame, and all that good stuff. Mokha has a lot of goodies that we went and acquired as well. Well, without standing here for too long and just simply talking, let me take you on the journey that was the Doom of Mokha. I'm just going to keep calling it Mokha. I don't know how to pronounce the full name. It's like Mokhaiotl? I don't know. You guys tell me if you know. Today is update day, the introduction of Varlamore Part 3. And with it brings the Doom of Mokha, the Gemstone Crab, the new fletching minigame, and just a whole new region in general. If we take a look at the... Oh, where am I going? If we take a look at the minimap, apparently we can't zoom out that far on here, but here we go. Here's the Varlamore region, the rainforest that was added, as well as the Auburn Valley up here. But with that being said, we're going to make our way over to the Mokha boss. We tried this boss earlier today. We got up to wave 6. Didn't complete wave 6 though. Then I got off for a little bit because I was up nice and early, so I took a nap or two, and yeah, we're back online. Let's see what we can do. No, dude. I wanted to get around the poison. I should have just tanked it. Ah, dude. No, don't do it. No. Bro, the stupid boulder, bro. Yeah, safe to say that there was a lot going on at this boss, and this boss is pretty difficult. I say is, as I'm sure even now at the time of this video being released, I'm sure Mokha will still be regarded as some pretty difficult content. Okay, wave 6 complete. Wave 6 complete, new PB. Okay, I have to hide behind these then. Right? Yep. Okay, we once again made it past wave 6, but this time even worse as we're completely out of supplies. What do we get? 480k. Obviously claiming and leaving because we have no supplies. Alright, time to check out wave 7. Alright, there's probably going to be one new thing about this. It seems like each wave it just adds on one extra mechanic or something. Let's see what's going on. What the? These orbs are crazy. This is not the part I'm concerned about. This is the part I'm concerned about. No. Okay. Dude, that is so quick. Holy. Okay, it's manageable though. That was just same thing as wave 6, but quicker. Okay, after switching to the void setup, Ooh! We got a tooth half key, which is not the regular one. This looks like the moon key, so I'm gonna claim that. Nice. No! On day 1 of the release, we managed to make our way over to Delve level 7 of the Doom of Mokha. However, we weren't able to break through and get to 8. The amount of death clips I'm going to be putting in this video certainly doesn't do it justice, but if I included every single death, this would be a 15-hour video or something ridiculous. But the gist of it is that we certainly planked over and over again. But at this stage, every death we were beginning to learn something from the boss. Another note is that throughout the course of this grind, I was very much in my own bubble, just grinding away at the boss. At most, I would receive some information that fellow clanmates learned, but I never really went out of my way to see what other content creators or other people were learning with the boss. So for the longest time here, actually, I was under the impression that you needed to have smite up to deal with the shield phase. I mean, it made sense at first, right? You would think it would be similar to Muspa, but yeah, you don't need smite. On day number 2, we were consistently getting to delve level 7. However, we were brick walled at this point. We could not get past 7. We got pretty close a few times, getting the boss HP as low as 30, so pretty much just one shot away, but we could not get past it. One of the main issues we were dealing with at this point was timing the proc for the orb during the shockwave phase at the end. At this point in time, we didn't know that there was a consistent timing to when the shockwave attack would begin. We now know there is a 20 tick window to start the orb before the boss starts doing the shockwave slams. Wave 7 cleared. Got 4 brews, 2 doses left. Alright. I guess we have to give it a shot. Okay, I kind of know what to expect from 8. But knowing what to expect versus executing it is a completely different story. That is not the way you want to start things. Shoot it. Bro, that is it. What, the bar wasn't even full. I swear the bar wasn't even full. Here on day number 3, we finally broke the seal and made our way to delve level 8 for the first time. Albeit it was a bit of a short showing as we planked pretty quickly. And it wasn't for another 2 hours after that until we made it back to level 8 again. 6 brew, 1 dose. Alright, here we go, here we go. Whew, alright, it's gonna happen twice. No, 4 slams, dude. Close. Alright, that was not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. 3 wave 7 completions now. It's starting to click. Yeah, that was some BS. Alright, wave 8. Similar supplies compared to last time. Like, we just exchanged out some brews with anglers and Karambwans. Whoa! Wait. No way! We got the pet at 373 clears! Oh my. Dom, is that short for Dominic? Doom of Mokhaiotl, I don't know how to pronounce it. Mokha. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Neither were the old ones. No way. We got the pet. Dude, we've been getting a lot of pets recently. Nah, that was not a wave 8 completion. I was going into wave 8, but obviously had to check the loot, right? And I was like, wait a second, what is that? Like, I didn't know what icon that was. Holy. Dang. I overshot it, didn't I? I actually ran past the orb, I think. Back to 8 again. Yes! There we go! Wave 8 completed. 10, 11. I wonder what other people's PBs are. Claim and leave. We finally did it. A wave 8 completion. 390 total delves. 1 deep delve. 1 dom. 2 KC. There we go. Is that a new PB? Didn't I get a 10, 11? Might have tied it, to be honest. Oh. I don't know. I'll take it though. 2 KC. There we go. No way. I think the PB time is bugged. Yeah, it's bugged for sure. Whew, 4KC. Did we get anything? Nothing. 4KC though. Okay, now that was actually a new PB. Oh, never mind, 1056. I thought I had 11, but there we go. 5th KC. And that wrapped up day number 3. Safe to say a lot happened and we drastically improved. It seemed like a good night's rest after day 2 led to a good start on day number 3. And on top of that, we got the pet. At this point in time, we didn't have any given information on the drop rates at the Doom of Mokha. I think the only known things were that the cloth was available as early as wave 2, the Eye of Ayak as early as wave 3, and the treads as early as wave 4, and the pet at wave 6. We didn't know the drop rates at all though, and in hindsight, you know, the pet is a little bit more common here at this boss than at other locations and bosses, but nevertheless, a day 3 pet was pretty hype. Very clean, very clean. There we go. 1 completion on the day. Wow, that was super clean. And we got a tooth half key, a moon key. Another clear, let's go. Ooh, a new PB 925. I believe this is KC 9. Yeah, it says right here. Deep delves completed, 9. Actually, our supplies were looking really good. We probably could have did a 9. Okay, back-to-back completions. This was a scary wave 8 though. 3 in a row, let's go. And no loot. Another wave 8 completed. There we go. Was that the first one back after my break? That might have been. 12 total KC. Let's take this loot. We could have continued. I don't know. I feel like claiming at 8 every time. Another KC down. That one's a little sketch though. 710k. 844 demon tears. Another one. KC 14. Where is my drop? I have enough supplies. Like I could probably do a 9, but I'd rather walk away with some gear. Not gear, some loot guaranteed. Another one. I'm not even gonna say it. There's no loot. Oh. Claim, 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 claim. Yes! Yes! I almost, like, instinctively just pressed, like, wave 5. That was wave 5. I almost instinctively pressed descend. Let's go, Avernic treads. I can't even see them because I have my robes on. Sheesh. Let's take a look at the collection log. 772 clears. Or not, I wish it was 772 clears. It was 15 level 8 clears. 772, I mean, I guess like level clears. Cumulative clears, yep. Let's take a look at the board here as well. Delve stats. Looks like we've had 772 clears in total, 15 level 8 clears. I never tried pushing beyond that. Actually, that's not true. I did do one level 9 attempt, and actually that was a complete accident. Like, I pressed the wrong button. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing level 9 now. I did have, like, decent supplies for that, but yeah, I didn't get the level 9 clear. But we've mostly been just going level 8 and then leaving. All right, we gotta put demon tiers in here. Oh, and let's take a look at the other board. We've died 132 times. But it's getting better, it's getting better. Like, the KD ratio, the first 3 days were probably terrible. But, like, for example, just today, we've cleared 9 raids. And is there an indication somewhere? When was the last time I died? Gravestone 14. So we've done... Oh, actually, here's a better indicator. Delve level 1, that message popped up 32 times. So we've entered 32 times, and we've gone 9 clears. Alright, upon pulling the Avernic treads, we had to figure some stuff out. I just found out that for each boot upgrade, it costs 4,000 demon tiers. But luckily enough, we have 12,313 in the bank. It seemed to have lined up pretty well. Now, I don't know if I need to head to an anvil or anything like that. I just know you gain smithing and runecrafting EXP according to the wiki. Let's just go ahead and, I don't know, use them? Oh, it does work like that. Do you wish to create a pair of Avernic treads ET? I guess the ET stands for eternal. Yes. Alright, it's infused with the eternal boots now. I think they're like lighter than before. And now, let's infuse it with the Pegasian boots. P-E-E-T, it spells out Pete. Okay, no, they look the same. Okay. Primordial boots. Avernic treads max. There we go. 313 tiers left. Now, these are obviously the new best in slot boots. I'm going to be wearing them everywhere now. It does ruin my bank a little bit though, because look, I had these lined up. Now what do I do? I'm honestly not sure. We'll have to figure that out. Anyways, we're going to continue doing more Mokhai, I think. Mokha, whatever you want to call it. We still have the 3 tick staff to get, as well as the... What's the other thing? The cloth, the Tormented Bracelet upgrade. That's what we're after. But, you know, we pulled the pet first, so we could potentially greenlog in the future. Before we hop back in, though, let's just do a little bit of fashion scaping. Here I am with the boots plus full ancestral, kitted ancestral. Looks pretty good. Here's Oath Plate. Doesn't look quite as good, but you know what? Once I get my hands on Radiant Oath Plate, that's going to match pretty well. Let's take a look at Missouri. You know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. Blood Torva. It's alright. And Elite Void. Well, I mean, yeah, you can't even see it. I would slap on Inquisitors, but I don't have full Inquisitors yet, so... We'll just have to see in the future. Well, that was day 4. After pulling the treads, we did do 2 more KCs, and I did get a genuine new PB by about 2 seconds. So currently, as of the end of day 4, the PB is at 923. It did take them a little bit to fix that issue where it was just simply broadcasting your PB every time you cleared Delve level 8. Nevertheless, we are doing consistent Delve 8 runs at this point. So it feels good. We've yet to try to push past 8 at this point. And honestly, for the next few days, we wouldn't do that. It just felt good getting a KC and then claiming the loot. First run of the day, we get a completion. It was a little bit shaky though, but we got it done. Let's see what our loot is. 1.1 mil, sheesh. A lot of tears, a lot of sun-kissed bones, but honestly, nothing too crazy. 20 KC. We hit a little milestone getting to 20 KC, and then from that point on day 5, we really hit the ground running and got more and more KC. We just chained them together. 955, not bad. The clear is a clear. New no, just kidding, got baited. New PB, wave 8 PB though, actually, so... Supply is still looking really good, but, you know, we're doing our claim. We're claiming our tears and waystone. New Wave 8 PB. I'll be taking the loot. We're getting faster and faster. See, that was a pretty good, like, Wave 8 in terms of DPS. No loot. KC26. Almost didn't claim my loot. 1222, that was slower than my first one. Okay, that was a quick one. It felt like. Another. Oh! Yes! We got the staff! KC29 in terms of Delve 8 clears. We got the staff. Let's go. Oh, it came in noted form. Dude, I panicked for a second there. I was like, where is it? It's in noted form. Why is it in noted form? Well, let's take a look at the collection log here. Doom of Mokha. Just one thing left on the drop table, or the collection log, I should say. 983 total delves as well, and 29 deep delves. Alright, made my way back to the crafting guild. Here we are, unnoted form, the Eye of Ayak uncharged. Can't equip it if it's uncharged, so let's go ahead and chuck some demon tears in there. Let's just throw in 10 for right now. Let's wield this bad boy. There we go. So we chucked some charges in there. Got the Eye of Ayak equipped now. This is the 3-tick mage weapon that, according to the blog post, is better than a Sangstaff and worse than a Shadow. This is going to be best in slot for Theater of Blood, I can only imagine, the Nilo room. Interestingly enough, there are two different ways we can go about charging this Eye of Ayak. So apparently you can either charge it with Death and Chaos runes, or Demon Tears, which is what we just did. We just chucked 10 Demon Tears into the Eye of Ayak, holding up to 50,000 charges. Now, something that's interesting is that by doing more Doom of Mokha, apparently if we bring this into the fight, it will passively gain somewhere between 10 to 20 charges when you beat Mokha. So let's go check that out, actually, and bring the staff with us to our next run. Before we hop back in, though, I just want to look at the log again. And I just want to say, I think we have been absolutely blessed with this boss. Again, I just want to point out that I didn't know the drop rates at this time. They weren't officially announced. Now that we know the drop rates, it seems like all the items, including the pet, actually end up with a pretty similar drop rate. Because our very first collection log item on here, besides the tears and the waystones, was the pet, followed by the Avernic treads, and now the Eye of Ayak. So we just have the cloth to go for the Tormented Bracelet upgrade. And I want to say, I've gotten the drops from rarest to most common. Okay, what I said there was technically true without me even knowing it. Of course, at this point in time, we don't know the drop rates yet, but I can only assume that the pet is much, much more rare, as is the standard for most things. Yeah, evidently not. And then I want to say the Avernics are the second most rare next to the pet, because they're only available at level 4 or higher. And likewise with the Eye of Ayak, that's only available after wave 3. And the cloth you can get as early as wave 2, and somehow we don't have that one yet. Making my way back to the boss right now. I do have the staff with me, and I'm actually curious to see if this will one-shot the larva or larvae, grubs, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about here. Because if they do one-shot them, this essentially replaces my Kodai, my auto-cast Demon Bane spell magic weapon, and I can just slot that right here. For right now, though, I'm going to bring both because I'm unsure what this does, but I do want to bring the Eye of Ayak. So initially, the Eye of Ayak did not one-shot the grubs, and instead it two-shot them. But this was later changed either 1 week or 2 weeks after the boss, and now it one-shots them. So even though I've already used the Eye of Ayak a few times, I'm up to 121 charges now. I've gained 21 charges, actually a little bit more than that, you know, minus whatever charges I've used. But the point is, we're well over 100. We've gained charges. So unfortunately, I messed up sub 50 HP on wave 8 there. But coming out of it, we have 186 charges in our Eye of Ayak now. So we're definitely going to be bringing this along to get free charges. However, right now, I still feel more comfortable using my Kodai wand to one-shot the grubs, so we're going to opt against that. I'll just keep it down at the bottom of my inventory or something. So heading into day 5 and beyond, we became more and more comfortable and consistent with the boss. Our inventory didn't really change too much, and our gear didn't really change too much. We did swap back and forth between Missouri and Elite Void. It's really just preference, and each set has its own pros and cons respectively. Missouri is going to be more accurate and consistent, and does provide you with a little extra defense in the event that you do mess up. Elite Void, however, shines during the car phase, as you have 100% accuracy during the car phase. You never miss. One more slight adjustment that I did end up making was I eventually made my way over to bring the Scythe of Vitter with a total of a 4-way melee switch, just to do more damage for the melee punish. That was mostly clean. Ooh, a new PB, 905. We will be taking that. Thank you. 3 Renar seeds. Wait, I'm about to get logged. Wait, I'm only on wave 3 and about to get 6 hour logged. One more wave, one more wave. All right, let's claim and relog. Wow, dude, no cloth? New PB on wave 8. An 823. Okay. Yeah, the T-bow went off on 7 and 8. What's our loot? All right, man. Oh. Okay. All right. That's not a cloth. It didn't even. Oh, it didn't even get broadcast in the clan chat. Well, let's take a look at the collection log here. That's our second pair of boots. 1496 total delves. 66 deep delves, which I've done just 1 through 8. I haven't done, as you can see, deepest delve 8. I haven't gone past that. You know what? I think the odds of me getting a dupe were higher than me getting the cloth, right? Because like the chances of me getting a green log with no dupes is probably pretty unlikely, right? New wave 8 PB. Okay. Bro, what the? Okay. Well, level 8. Level 8. Well, that is 2 pairs of boots and 2 Eyes of Ayak, and still no cloth. Interesting. All right, fresh out of that run where we just pulled our dupe, Eye of Ayak. Now you'll notice I'm running back now, and I have both Eyes of Ayak in my inventory. This right one is the one that we've been charging. It's up to 8,100 now. And this fresh one, I put 1 charge in it. I wonder if both are going to receive charges. All right, moment of truth. 45 and 8105. 57. They thought about this. You could only charge 1. We have tested it. You know what we haven't done in a while? Check the charges in our Eye of Ayak. When we first pulled this, we put 100 charges into it. Now it has 10,955 charges. Safe to say we've been doing a lot of delve clears. Dude, this is crazy right now. That was incredibly rude. No. Not like that, man. After I survive all of that, after I flick all those boulders with the melee punish, I get ran over. It's been just over 1 week of grinding the Doom of Mokha. We've been using the Pendant of 8s here and teleporting to Kastori as our fastest way to get to the boss, with the exception of the waystones that drop from the boss. But you don't seem to get enough waystones whenever you do Mokha. So we're currently running low on charges. This pendant requires Frozen Tears, which we can get from the Mox boss. Now, funny enough, I logged in today. First thing I did was come here, right? I was like, I'm going to snag a couple of these before I head back to do my Mokha. But I genuinely don't remember how to do this boss. And I blanked right away. First thing in the morning to this boss of all things. So this obviously isn't a new change per se, but like I said, I haven't been here in ages. But the last time I was here, this boss definitely didn't drop any of these seeds. Okay, just finished that short little Amok session. We now have just over 50 charges in our pendant, which should more than last us today. I mean, we're not going to teleport to Doom of Mokha 50 times today, I don't think. Or maybe we will, I'm not sure. But anyways, to the real content now. I definitely didn't get my butt kicked by the early game boss. I didn't realize you had to pray mage the entire time. Oh, that was pretty clean. No way, dude. Ain't no way we get a dupe pet. What? 2,282 levels, 132 deep delves. This is now our collection log. 2 pets, 2 Avernic treads, 2 Eye of Ayak, and we still don't have the cloth. Logging in for another day, ready to do some more Mokha. We're gonna open up the collection log here, and you'll see that we are now exactly on 2,400 total delves. I didn't even intend to end it last night that way, but that's where we are at now. 143 deep delves, and our deepest delve is currently 9. We actually accidentally did that. I pressed descend instead of claiming my loot one time on wave 8. Nevertheless, let's take a look at our inventory or our bank real quick, and this is our usual setup. We've been using this setup for quite some time now. We've been reducing our brews from I think initially like 7 brews to 5 brews to now 3 brews, and then some more hard food. You'll see here though in our prayer pot section, we just have 40 left. I'm not quite sure what the number we started with, but we've definitely gone through a lot of prayer potions. We've gone through a lot of supplies in general. And I think before we start some more Mokha KCs today, we're going to make some prayer potions just to resupply a bit. There's one extra step before I get to making more prayer potions again. I do need to put more charges into my alchemist amulet, and you make alchemist amulets by simply combining jades and silver bars, turning them into jade amulets, and then you do the classic jewelry enchantment for jade jewelry, which is the same one as emerald, so level 2 enchant costing cosmic runes and air runes. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's make some jade amulets and then enchant them, and then that will turn them into alchemist amulets, and you can actually put those into the amulet you get from mixology and get a whole bunch of charges in one amulet. If you didn't know, the alchemist amulet has a 15% chance of giving you an extra dosage every time you make a potion. So occasionally our 3-dose prayer potions could turn out to be a 4-dose, and while that doesn't seem like a lot for one prayer potion, over the course of thousands of potions being made, that can be a lot of extra dosages. I think I forgot to mention, but obviously with amulets you need a ball of wool to string them. So we had jade amulets U, and now we're turning them to jade amulets. Then the final step would be to enchant them. And here we are, final step in the process. We're now just casting level 2 enchant on our jade amulets, turning them into amulet of chemistries. And these amulet of chemistries will be put into our alchemist amulet. If you're not in any rush, or if you're just feeling lazy, your inventory does auto cast itself, enchant itself. But as you can see, it is incredibly slow. Alternatively, I believe you can click cast every time and click on the amulets every time, and this is significantly faster, but also a lot more clicking. So I didn't do a huge session of making the amulets or anything, so really I just made 39 amulets of chemistry. So currently our alchemist amulet has 79 charges in it, and we're going to chuck 39 amulets into it, and that is going to give us 469 total charges. Okay, that should last us a good bit. Let's start making some prayer potions. So on top of having the Alchemist Amulet equipped, we also have the Prescription Goggles. Now what these Prescription Goggles do is that they will occasionally save you your secondaries. So with Prayer Potions, we need to use Snapegrass, and on occasion, the Prescription Goggles will proc and not use a Snapegrass. So we will be saving a little bit of those. You can see here I made 14 Prayer Pots, 3 doses anyways, and we have 2 Snapegrass left over. So we saved 2 Snapegrass in that inventory, and you can also see that the Alchemist Amulet has given us 2 extra dosages on that inventory of 14. On top of that, we also have the Gommel's Lucky Penny, which does work with saving Alchemist Amulet charges. Back at the Mox boss once again, turns out our little session last time didn't really give us too many charges for our pendant, so we were running low again. We just have to snag some more before we continue doing more Mokha. Prayer potions have been made, charges are in the pendant, not too many though, but probably enough to last us through the day at the very least. Now we can finally get back to what we're here for, the Doom of Mokha. Let's pre-pot. Let's head on over there right now. 2 waystones, huh? Well, we barely used any food there. In fact, we used no food. We used 0 food. I kind of feel like doing a wave 9, so let's do a wave 9. Screw it, let's do a wave 7. I mean 10. How did I go from 9 to 7? I don't know how to count. Okay, we did a wave 10. Let's claim our loot. That's a new PB, we'll take it. I mean, supplies are still good to keep pushing, but you know, whatever. You know what? Let's go for a 11, because why not? What's on the line? Not much, you know? Not much. No! Wait, what? Oh, I clicked Incredible Reflex instead of Pre-Mage. Oh, that's sad. Okay, we just did a wave 11. I'm probably going to claim here, though. Well, that's 11, and I took no damage, so 12 it is. Playing a dangerous game here. That's how they get you. Okay, I'm just going to ignore the triple melee, and I'm going to claim after this because the damage is going to stack up. Let's not, you know, get ahead of ourselves here. Woo! Okay, yeah, that was sketchy. the misclick through the boss, too. Holy. Wow, Deep Delves completed 200 just like that. We're claiming our loot on 12. Since we were rapidly improving by the day, we eventually decided to push past 8 when our supplies allowed for it. And we made it to a personal PB of 12 without really adjusting our inventory. Throughout the rest of this grind, we kind of flip-flopped on what we wanted to do. We occasionally went back to just 1 through 8 farming and claiming, and on occasion we went past 8 and comfortably did like 9s and 10s and maybe a few 11s. Bro, are you serious, man? So you saw right there that we pulled our 3rd pet at total delves 3,427. At this point, I knew something was up. I didn't know the drop rates yet, they were still not released, but between my own personal log and hearing about other people's experiences, I knew that something was different with this drop table and the pets. Also, at this point in time, being at 3,427 total delves, our last item pull was about 1,900 to 2,000 delves ago. I believe the exact total delves was 1,519. So this had been several days of heavy grinding at the boss without any items to show for. But we got more pet rolls. It has now been 2 weeks since the release of Mokha. And I think it's pretty typical that they wait 2 weeks until they release official drop rates for the boss. Well, they have since done that, and my suspicions are confirmed. The pet is indeed pretty common. I mean, let's take a look at our collection log here. We have a whopping 3 Dom pets in our KC, 287 deep delves, 3,614 total delves. And yes, we are still missing the cloth. Let's take a look at the board here. The pet is 1 in 1,000 in wave 6. And wave 7 is 1 in 750. 8 is 1 in 500. 9 plus is 1 in 250. So the higher or deeper delve you go, the better the drop rates. Although once you get to 9 plus, wave 9, wave 10, wave 11 are all the same. Because drop rates change based on what wave you're on, as well as the fact that you can't get any drops on wave 1, you can only get the cloth on wave 2 and beyond, the staff on wave 3 and beyond, the boots on wave 4 and beyond, and the pet wave 6 and beyond. It's actually pretty difficult to just look at your collection log, your deep delves and total delves, and then look at the board and your collection log to figure out whether you're dry or lucky or what have you. We'd have to look at the cumulative drop rates, which are available on the wiki. I suppose in order to keep things simple, we'll just simply look at the cumulative unique chance for right now, meaning just seeing any of the 4 drops, the pet, the staff, the boots, and of course the cloth that we're missing. So by the time you clear a 1 through 8 delve, which is what puts you on the high scores anyways, you should expect to see a drop every 1 in 50. With the 1 in 50 number combined, let's go ahead and take a look at our collection log. You can see here that we have 2 boots, 2 Eye of Ayak, and 3 pet rolls. That totals up to 7 rolls on the unique drop table. Just to clarify, prior to the release of the drop rates, we speculated that the pet was for some reason on the same table as the uniques. However, this is not the case, at least I don't think so. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there, but the pet is a separate role, kind of like a tertiary at any other boss, which actually comes out to where I should have maybe 350 deep delves if we're speaking solely on 1 through 8 runs. However, that's not the case. You can see here that my deepest delve is a 12, and we have done anywhere between 8 and 12 deep delve runs several times over. So I'd like to think that we are somewhat on rate, pretty close to it. Once you clear wave 9 and beyond, the cumulative unique chance there becomes about a 1 in 39. So the rates do continue to increase. So I think with this 287 number, without really doing precise math here, I think we're roughly on rate, pretty close to it. The only unfortunate thing is we somehow have never rolled the cloth, which is available as early as wave 2. And on wave 2, it is a 1 in 2,500. And by the time we do a full clear 1 through 8, it should be a 1 in 140. So I suppose we are unlucky on the cloth specifically, but in terms of the number of uniques, maybe not so much. Again, it's hard to say without crunching the exact numbers. But anyways, now that we know the drop rates, I guess it's a little added motivation to continue grinding the boss until we greenlog and get ourselves the cloth. Beyond just talking about the drop rates, they did make some other changes, all minor changes to be honest, just to increase the QOL of things a little bit. One such example is there is less of a delay now whenever you enter the melee punish phase. Also, I guess the biggest change actually is that a lot of people, myself included, have problems with the triple melee grub spawns in the beginning of waves. I believe now that triple melee turns into one giant larva, which we have to probably hit twice or something. The giant larva is probably a little bit more punishing, but also easier to deal with. So I guess without yapping too much, let's just get back on the grind and try to get ourselves the cloth and see how different the boss might feel. I think it's fundamentally still the same fight though. So in between runs right now, heading back to the boss. Now we know the run is a bit of a journey, so I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about a slight change in my inventory setup. So right now we have binned the Kodai to autocast demon main spells, and now we're going to primarily use the Eye of Ayak to deal with the grubs. Along with the update, they changed the fact that the Eye of Ayak now one-shots the grubs, and there's no weapon delay, weapon cooldown on it. So it's going to be very viable now. And it just saves us one inventory slot, I guess, in which I added another Karambwan to the setup. Another wave. Oh, item. Oh my god. The glow. Come on. Dude. At least be an item, bro. At least be an item. Oh my god, man. It's cursed. It's absolutely cursed. Yeah, so at this point, it had been roughly 2,200 total delves since our last item pull. So safe to say we were feeling some type of way on this grind. No, it's 9 health. There's like... Bro, there's a dude out here in a clown outfit. Ain't no way. Why is there a guy out here? Okay, I have to mute my mic. Oh! Ooh! It glows! I have to keep my mic muted for a bit there, because, like, there's a lot of background noise right now. In fact, you might be able to pick it up right now. But, wave 9, I was just about to, like, unmute my mic and be like, wow, that was terrible. So many misclicks. Wait, I have to claim this before I die. Yes! Yes, we got the cloth! Claim! Give me that. Yes! We got a TP out because we're dying. No time to celebrate. We got a TP out. We're dying from poison. Let's go. We're done. We're green logged. We're done. 4,095 total delves. 374 deep delves. So I have not seen it for myself, but I've heard that the animation to make the Confliction Gauntlets is a pretty cool one, so time to check it out. Creating a pair of Confliction Gauntlets requires you to be in a bank. What? Okay, we'll just stand right here. Let's try this again. Do you wish to make a pair of Confliction Gauntlets from the Mokhaiotl Cloth, the Tormented Bracelet, and 10,000 Demon Tears? This process is non-reversible and will consume the items used. Yes. Oh, here we go. Yo, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's slap on Max Mage real quick. These things look pretty cool. I like it. What about like in Virtus and like maybe the Kodai and the Eladinus ward? Yeah, it just works with everything. Eye of Ayak. A little while later, but you know I had to pull this image out. We got the pet, we got Dom out, we got our Max Mage out with the Eye of Ayak. I mean, the Eye of Ayak's not Max Mage. The Tumekan Shadow is still the Mage megarare. But this is what I pulled from Mokha. And we're done. Let's take a look at the log one more time. Green logged. 6 out of 6. 374 deep delves. And 4,095 total delves, which is actually almost fitting because World 495 is usually the world we're on. So a little coincidence in the numbers. Well, that was my Mokha journey from start to finish. And I'm pretty much done with the boss. We green logged it, but I guess we will have to return to Mokha to tackle some combat achievements when they get released.